What you're about to watch is a special private training session for people who bought a copy of my book, Built to Serve. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody. Insiders group, people who bought Built to Serve. I made this group for you guys bought the book. I want you to get value out of it and have me be a resource as much as possible for you so that it's not just something that sits on the shelf, but actually you can implement in your life. Every week, as long as I'm in town, we try to do it and take your questions. So Andrew Murdoch had the question of the day. What? So how to raise your rates when you realize you are undercharging your clients and customers. Okay, well, we could actually workshop this. What do you sell, Andrew? What's the business?
It's right up your alley, my man. So I'm a YouTube consultant. I do optimization and strategy. I am exceptionally busy. I don't have a website. I don't promote. I don't advertise. Don't do anything. It's just word of mouth. And I can't keep up. I've been turning work away and just recently realized that I'm not even charging my existing clients what would probably be considered the industry standard.
So are you uploading? Are you doing thumbnails? Are you just split testing old videos, strategy, all of that?
I typically insert myself in the client's organization and I coordinate all the moving pieces. I work with a graphic designer to do the thumbnails. I work with a video editor. I interpret the data and the metrics. I'm a geek when it comes to this stuff. I consume everything. I've learned a lot about YouTube from yourself and others. And in fact, I even have, if you haven't picked it up already, it's fantastic. The YouTube formula, fantastic. Daryl Eves he just published this thing a few months ago, right? So it's the latest and greatest with regards to YouTube, and I've been deploying what I learned there with my clients, getting amazing results. I do the reporting for my clients every week, and I have some very, very happy clients. But I'm realizing that I'm not actually charging what would be considered appropriate, and so I'm like, now I got a problem.
So every new client you bring on is 30% more. And then you have a conversation with existing clients to increase the rate.
Makes sense.
And you may lose some people, but if it's a good spot to be in. I mean, there may be one or two people that you keep on just because you love them and it feels good to work with them and help them, but they can't afford the new rates. And so you keep those on. Other people can easily afford it and they have to decide whether they're going to spend it. And other people you move on from. If there's anybody you can recommend them to, great. Otherwise you're moving on and you start targeting more ideal clients. I went through this with a couple times now with different YouTube. We started with Jeremy, who now is mid five figures every month. And his goal is to have 12 ideal clients who are paying him $5K a month to help him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know Jeremy, but I did recently connect with Drew, and I had a meeting with him because Zan the man hooked us up, introduced us, so we scheduled a meeting.
Yeah,
and so that was eye-opening. That was very, very eye-opening to see how Drew how he has structured his business, because it made me realize that I need to recalibrate. Right?
Yeah. Well, and the number one thing I did when I invested into Drew was start to renegotiate his current deals. It's like, okay, wow, you're doing way too much. Like, this is just you're giving a lot of value, not getting paid. So, and listen, at the beginning, this is helpful for everybody. At the beginning of a coaching business, you're just figuring stuff out. You're happy that any client is coming to you. You're getting paid to do what you love. It's great. I think a couple things that will help. One, treat every client like it's an annual deal, not just a one-off. So even Drew turned away deals that, hey, can you help me for this month? Like, can't get enough value out of it. So depending on the business, maybe you can, but by default, you want to think about turning people into annual deals. So, if Terry's going to coach somebody on how to write a book, great. Let's turn that into, what does an annual deal look like? What does a book every year look like? And just default into that kind of thinking instead of the one-offs. Next is breaking down the product offer so that when you are not just, you say, I'll do everything for you for YouTube. Great. That's a good starting point, but then you need to start breaking it down. So there's strategy once a month or every 2 weeks. Drew and Jeremy do every 2 weeks. Because for strategy, you don't have enough for every week. And if you're doing it every week, you become more of a project manager, which is maybe what you want to do, as opposed to actually strategy. Not enough happens week to week to really justify strategy. So if you want to be project manager and I'm going to talk to the designer and I'm going to get this done and I'm going to basically, as you said, insert yourself into the organization, if that's what you love doing, then you have a project management fee. You have a strategy fee. You have a
split testing fee.
Yeah, split like optimization fee. So Drew and Jeremy will do strategy, split testing for a certain number of thumbnails and titles going back, and then guidance on things like mashup videos. So everything that you do is now split, and people can pick packages that they go for with all of it, or they can just do the one thing. And what that helps is prevent scope creep to then say, oh, well, Andrew, can you also help with this? And how about this and this too? And since you're already doing that, can you?
That's happened. You're talking my language, Evan. Thank you. Yeah, that has most certainly happened. That's exactly where I'm at right now.
And that happens to every consulting business, every coaching business. Scope creep. It's just
I didn't know that was the term. Thank you.
The scope of the project just creeps forward, right? It's like, oh, and Terry, would you mind also doing this? And how about that? It's like, that's a whole other offering that I give. And listen, it's not that you always say no and you bend a bit, but at some point now, if this is every month that I'm doing this, it has to be part of some kind of offering that we're putting together. So some of it can be organic and you work towards, but when you get enough, I'm not so worried about the beginning part. Don't worry about having a perfect plan together. But as you get into it, you start to see the patterns. So, for Jeremy, for example, he didn't want to do thumbnails and split testing at the beginning. And one of his clients just badly needed it because she didn't have anybody who could do it. So he said, okay, you know what? I'm going to help her and I'm going to do it. And then he realized, oh, you know what? It's actually not that hard. And I've gained skills to do it. Great. I'm going to do this for other clients too. Awesome. But you have to charge for it, Jeremy. That's a new service. Now that's an extra $1,500 a month to do split testing on your catalog, that kind of stuff. So what I would look for you is how would you break it down into the 2 to 7 things that you're doing consistently for clients, not nickel and diming them about every single minute of every phone call is being like a lawyer would do. That's not the business you want to be in. But also clients don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They might just assume it's just easy, this one little thing for you to do, right? Where it's, no, this is actually taking on a life of its own. And now I'm buried deep into your project. So what are the 2 to 7 things that you're doing most consistently for clients? And then pricing those out as different packages that you can help with.
That makes sense. And in this situation of if you are working with a client that you enjoy working with, but maybe perhaps they're on a tighter budget, does it make sense for a YouTube expert to lower the base fee and just ask to participate in the YouTube ad revenue, do a rev split, a rev share?
You could if you see upside. Sometimes people will do it based off of a minimum. So, like the first $3,000 a month comes to you and you invest in them to help them and guide them. And if you can't help them, if they're only making $500 a month, then you get the $500, but you get the first 3,000 or whatever number you want to put in there that's worth it for you. You get the first. So you're working towards it. And then afterwards, what do you want to work on together? Is it just stop and you just make $3,000 a month? Is it then some kind of share afterwards?
Because it turns into more of a partnership at that point, right?
Yeah. And so you have to pick those clients extra carefully because you're investing a ton of time at the start to do the work. And then when they end up succeeding, hopefully, like do they even do the work to succeed? Because there's only so much you can do as the guy behind the scenes. They have to make videos. If they're not making content, Andrew can't wave a magic wand and just help you blow up.
I do have one client that I'm constantly like, where are your videos? Need your videos. Where are they?
Yeah. So it's like, do you still want to work with them? You know, is it an ideal client for you or not? And then working towards, if I'm going to take a piece of their channel forever, is it just somebody you love working with? Is it a good partner for you or not? And as you start to build, you get a little more spoiled. You can be a little more picky, you know, with who you bring on, the kinds of people that you want to work with.
Yeah. I recently had some very interesting conversations. Looks like I've onboarded my first celebrity, actually. So things are growing quick, and I'm trying to be smart about it and scale in an appropriate manner so that all my clients still receive the value that they're used to receiving from me. So thank you very much, Evan. I don't want to take up everyone's time, but
yeah.
Thank you so
and
much.
Just super quick, like as you keep growing, it's for everybody too. I hope everybody's valuing, you know, the conversation, the kinds of clients that you want to work with. So for example, Jeremy right now in the YouTube world is only going after pretty giant names. Like everybody on his client list, you would recognize who they were and what they're doing. And that's what he loves doing. Bo, who I've recently invested into, he books guests for shows. So he got me Matthew McConaughey and Deepak Chopra and all these people. And then we turned that into a service for other people. So if you have a podcast or a YouTube channel and you're looking to get some good guests for it, Bo will book the guests for you. Which is great because that's a big part of running a show is booking guests. But Bo doesn't want to work with the big name shows. Bo likes working with the people who are on their way up. Not the totally brand new, like I'm never going to make any money, but he likes finding people who already have a budget. They've had some success in the entrepreneur world and they want to launch their show and they have a budget to launch a show, but they're not people that you know of yet. And he likes being a part of helping them grow. So it's just a totally different clientele than what someone like Jeremy is going after. And at the end of the day, you get the pick. You know, at the beginning, you're exploring and you don't really know until you start working with them. So working with that celebrity, great, amazing. And maybe that's all you want to do then is work with more celebrities, or you may realize, I actually hate working with these celebrities. I'd rather work with the level below and help them become. And that's where I get my biggest satisfaction. There's no right answer. It's more, what does Andrew want to do? And for everybody else, as you start getting into the coaching business, you get to pick. Because of all the things, that's the most, like working with a bad client, a non-ideal fit client, starts to suck the soul out of you because it's your actual time that you're spending every week with them. So those learnings of the people who you want to start working with become important as you build your coaching practice.
Thank you.
What do we got?
Thanks, Evan, for your time again, for taking our questions today. And I just wanted some feedback. I just started my YouTube channel last month, so it's brand new. Just wanted your opinion on, am I doing well or am I not? It's called Soul Aligned Vision.
How often are you posting?
Once a week.
Okay, so let's work to up that.
Okay. Twice a week or?
As much as you can. Because part of it is just developing the skill set of getting better.
Okay.
Where if you're practicing anything once a week, anything, the odds of you getting really good at it are pretty low.
Okay.
So as much as you can, I'd be making more videos. I'd be going longer. Like most of yours, I'm looking at like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes plus.
Okay.
We just talked about this inside Movement Makers today. Like I'd be even looking towards hour-long videos if you have enough content, like you can actually speak to it, but at least 10 minutes on it.
Okay.
And then just more videos, more
Okay.
videos. Like I wouldn't judge yourself until you have 100 videos on the channel.
Okay.
And you've got 7, which is great. Hey, 7, first 7 are the hardest to do. That's amazing. But 7 videos, listen, 7 videos in 4 weeks, that's a good start. But if you really want to start picking up traction, I'd have ambitions to go to 1 video a day that are, 10 minutes plus each one.
Okay.
And don't worry as much about the editing. I don't know if you are worried about the editing or what you're doing, but
I'm not, because it was keeping me from posting anything at all. So
yeah, perfect. Just post next, and then post again, next, and then post again, next.
Okay.
and start to look at your data and the traction. Like commit mentally to making 100 videos.
Okay.
Before you say it's not working or you can't make it or it's not happening for you or whatever, 100 videos in your head. You'll get way better. Like you're probably already better now compared to the first video.
I am, yeah.
And that's only 7 videos in.
Okay.
But now imagine 70 videos in, you're going to just be so much better and you'll get your rhythm and your flow down. So yeah, before worrying about, there's not enough data or analytics to really pour into yet when it's too soon on a channel. Because, you know, some of them have done okay, right? Like 84 views, 170 views on your Mother's Day one. It's great. But yeah, daily commit to 100 videos. You've done 7, so you got 93 more. 10-minute plus videos. And that's the start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay to post 7 videos and not market them first? Or is it better to do 3 and then market them? So have time to market them every other day.
Market them through what? Like a newsletter?
Send people the videos.
You post. I'd post every day, and then take your best video from the past week and then put that in your newsletter.
Okay.
So not every video will hit your newsletter, which is fine. I do 20 to 30 videos a day.
Wow.
And not every video hits a newsletter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Good luck. Lady, what do you got?
Well, I recently created a bunch of videos, or I recorded a bunch of videos, which were all consecutive. And I was thinking about what you said before, because normally you start with something like an intro and get people to get in. So somewhere in between, I made a 7-minute long video, which actually got into it all. But I'm still thinking, can I still use the other tidbits? Because I was going for a walk, and every time I saw something, I just recorded and talked about it.
So it's part of a series, but you want to also talk about other things?
Yeah, I was just going for a walk, and it was an hour-long walk. So every few minutes, I would record a few minutes of things I thought about and things I saw. And then when I actually was sitting down, that's when I made one according to the structure you always say. So later on, I edited them all together into one YouTube video, and I was thinking, this isn't working. So I never actually posted the video.
Well, how do you know it's not working if you haven't posted a video?
That's true. Then also just post it and maybe change the format a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the part of, if you're committing to 100 videos, great. You post it, it doesn't work, awesome, next.
Okay.
Because you got 100 to make. That's just one, you got 99 more to go. You know,
Okay.
I would play with you walking more. And maybe you discover that when you walk, like half the audio sucks because the wind hit the microphone. Post next and like get a better mic next time, or don't go out on a windy day or whatever, right? Just post and keep going next. And in the rhythm, you'll find what you love and then what actually is also resonating with the audience. And then that's what you commit to continuing to do. But in the early stages, don't say something's not working if you haven't posted it just because, you know, the vibe was off or, you know, whatever reason. Yeah, post. You take your hour video and you cut it up, or you just take the hour video and you just post it as is. And then tomorrow another one comes up, and you'll find that in those 100 videos, you'll get a few winners.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. If you want to get a copy of Built to Serve and join us live for our next training with me to ask your questions, you can go get the book right there next to me, right there. I'll see you there. I'll see you to get the book. It's a good one. Much love.